Here with the Commish and Gray. Time for legal standpoint.
Five, four, three, two.
All right, the champ is here. Loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, but second to none. Yeah, you like when I do that, second to none.
Well,
You know,
okay. You do it. So.
Well, you do it. You do it. I'm with Michael Todd. Michael J. Todd.
Oh, thank you. I was about to correct you with the
No,
J.
no. I was like, but I'm hating. I'm always hating.
It's kind of like, not like Kamala. It's Kamala. You got to respect how somebody wants their name.
Michael J. Todd.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
But you said Michael Todd earlier. I thought I was going to just follow along.
When did I say that, man?
You said it earlier. Counsel.
Okay.
I've been writing notes and everything. I don't know how to take notes.
There's nothing on that paper.
Yeah, until I get ready to write it in there.
Well, there's nothing on it.
So
If you can't say I'm writing notes to verify what you say, and there's nothing on the paper.
I retired from being a corporate executive. When I say I'm taking notes, trust me, by the time we go to arbitration, there will be a lot of notes.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we're not in arbitration.
But right now,
I'm looking at a blank piece of paper. That's what I'm
get there, that's going to be what it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be what it is. Chance, this is the deal. Me and him been doing this show now. How many years we been doing the show, man? We started off at a cigar bar in downtown Dallas.
That's
how many
true.
years ago was it? It's been a long time.
I would probably say 15.
15 years. And I'm
2015.
2015.
I guess 16.
That's getting up there again.
Yeah. And then we were over at the radio station.
Yeah. Then we migrated over here, and I'm always trying to keep up with them, man. Because I have my cell phone out, which is charging up and everything. And this is what the deal is, Chance. This is what I want to tell him. He got that thing right there. I had a block that I had, a block. I just put my phone in the block and everything. He looked at it and started laughing at it.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Wait a minute. Took some kid's Lego.
But it was functional.
It made it so.
It was functional. You said, what is this?
Hey man, take that back to that child.
What is this?
Some kid can't complete their
man, my guys at work made that for me. It had sentimental value to me.
Oh, okay.
Man.
All right.
And then I ended up getting this, man. I ordered this, man. I got this.
Yeah, that looks a little light there, man.
Yeah, because you had one like that. Then what'd you do?
No, mine was made of metal. Mine was metal. It was good and sturdy, and it was heavy. Yeah. That looks a little flimsy right there. Yeah, that's flimsy.
Now, it was made of metal. Now, what you got?
Well, see, this one has a microphone on it.
See what I'm talking about?
It connects wireless and things of that nature. So.
See what I'm talking about, Chance?
So
that's what I was saying. I was gonna wait to be on that.
Oh, okay, yeah. That one's a little more high dollar.
Like at the dollar store?
No, high dollar.
High dollar. Okay.
High dollar.
Don't do it,
dollar,
man. It works, bro.
No, that's
it works.
cool. That's cool.
It has sentimental value. Somebody gave it to me.
All right.
So hey, it has sentimental value to it.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Sentimental value to me is like I got this. You ever seen one of these before, man?
That's a jury summons. If I'm not, I suppose you're asking me this because this is legal standpoint. So you're asking me about.
I always wanted to do that. Like I've seen, I like like they do in those TV shows. Have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
Let's have a little more.
Okay, so they're asking you to come to jury duty.
Wait, hold on. Let me get it.
And it's going to be at the George Allen building. So what does that tell you?
I'm going downtown.
You're going downtown, but it's also a civil case, not a criminal case.
Oh,
so if you're skittish about somebody getting stabbed or seeing blood or somebody being shot or robbed, you don't have to worry about that. Probably be some type of divorce case or some type of accident case, something like that. You can handle that, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So down on down.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
But this is the point, folks. When you get one of these, always answer it. Don't hide it. Put it underneath the car seat. Don't forget where you put it at, that kind of thing. Go ahead and answer it. Because, see, you're going to have to answer to something else later. And what we're going to talk about, what you may have to answer to if Donald J. Trump is elected president of the United States. So that was a segue into that, man.
Yeah, I've heard better, but I guess we're gonna work.
Well, we got to work with that. What you got, Counselor? What you got?
Well, we want to talk about Project 2025 today.
Okay.
Okay. Because a lot of times, a lot of people are going around and they're talking about Project 2025 and they just think of it as a buzzword or it's something bad, which it is. But what we really need to do is get an understanding of what it is and all the facts and circumstances surrounding it, so it will actually motivate people to know that they need to vote to keep this type of dystopian type America arising.
What?
Dystopian.
Okay, you went to Skyline.
Okay, that's the opposite of utopia.
Yeah, I went to Carter.
Well, you went to SMU, so you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can figure that out.
Okay, I figured.
If not, during the break, man, we can pull out the computer and we'll look it up.
All right.
But it means bad. That's what it means.
Okay, Chance over there tripping out. Okay.
So the first thing is this, Ed, is this Project 2025. What is it?
Yeah.
It
Because
is
everybody's talking about it.
everybody's talking about it,
But
we
most people ain't read it.
ain't read it.
They
you
just
know?
go off of Facebook.
Right, and the thing is this: I've downloaded the whole thing, and I'm not gonna say I've read every page, but
How many pages is it?
922 pages. 922 pages of what the Republicans want to instill if Trump wins. All right, and so what happens is that you've got the initial debate. You said people have been saying that it hadn't, that it's bad, and so Trump has seen that it has had a negative effect on maybe how people are looking at what his administration would be. So over the last month or so, he's been saying, man, I don't even know what this Project 2025 is, man. Well, everybody trying to say that I'm following this game plan. I'm not doing that.
You almost slipped and said
I'm gonna say what?
bullshit.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't.
I mean, you can say that on here.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
No, you wouldn't, because you're a deacon.
Yeah, my churchman. No, I'm not a deacon, but
I know, and he's
but
listening to us right now.
Yeah, but my church members,
I
they
know.
wouldn't appreciate that.
I know.
But anyway, and so he's trying to disavow that I don't have any connection with this Project 2025.
Mm-hmm.
But if we look and actually start doing a little research, we can see that's not the case. The first thing is this, is that hundreds, and when I say hundreds, I mean hundreds of individuals that were within the Trump administration have been responsible for generating portions of these outlines of what they want to instill. So these are Trump administration individuals who are writing this. His main man, Stephen Miller, who was in the White House with him. He speaks for him still to this day. Stephen Miller had sections written on this. And if we go back to April of 2022, Trump was speaking at a Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation, that's a group of real conservative dudes and women who've gotten together. They started out by saying that they wanted to put together a conservative society, and they have made recommendations as far as judicial candidates or judges to be appointed. And Trump always took their recommendations as he was appointing people during his administration. Well, a good number of those individuals that were with the Heritage Foundation, they've written this. And back in April of 2022, Trump was speaking at a Heritage Foundation event. And at that event, he was talking about how great the Heritage Foundation had been, that they were somebody that were really great. And he said, and they are developing some plans. They are developing some plans that we're going to use as it relates to the next Republican administration. Now, I'm paraphrasing it, but that's basically what he said. So what it does, it lets you know that all the way back from 2022, he was aware of this project. He was aware of the purpose of the project, And when he says today, I don't know nothing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to take that as a grain of salt with respect to how Trump disavows. He lies all the time.
I was going to say,
And
how is that different from any others?
Yeah. So from that standpoint, he's just lying.
There you go. What else is?
The thing is that we also know what happened probably about a month ago. There was an individual that's the president of the Heritage Foundation, and he was on some interview, and he said, "Well, hey, we're going to institute this 2025." He says, and it's going to be an American revolution that can remain bloodless as long as the liberals allow it to be so.
So that's giving a way out as well.
Well, yeah. Well,
that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
As long as
the liberals allow it to.
Liberals.
Yeah. Now, so what happened is that when that comment came out, people have been talking about Project 2025, but when that comment came out, everybody's really latched on like, well, what you talking about? An American revolution that will remain bloodless as long as the liberals allow it to? And so that really, I think, generated a lot of additional interest in, well, what is this Project 2025? So basically what it is that, like I say, all these conservative dudes, they have gotten together, and women, they've gotten together and they've come up with this playbook as it relates to key proposals that they want to institute on day one of a Trump administration.
How can you have something administered on day one? Doesn't it have to be elected, approved through Congress?
Well, the thing is
not
this.
Elected, but doesn't it have to be approved through Congress?
Well, there's a president has something that he can issue, which we call an executive order. An executive order kind of is an order to the executive branch where he's telling them that this is how we are going to function from now on during my administration. And to be honest, it has the effect kind of law, because the thing is that departments, agencies, they issue a lot of regulations on things to do or things that they perform. And these regulations, if they change these regulations or if they change an executive order that's dictating how these regulations should be instituted or interpreted, then that's very powerful. And during that administration, that has a lot of sway as it relates to how that particular agency is going to handle cases. Let me give you an example. During the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, which has the authority to oversee the enforcement of the United States laws in America. You understand that? Well, during the Trump administration, they basically said, hey, we're not going to do any what we call overview. We're not going to do any oversight of police departments. And we're not going to go in and do investigations to see if they are treating all of the participants, all the population segments within their communities the same. A lot of times, if you have the Department of Justice go in and do that, if they find that there is discrimination or some type of excessive force or anything that's being used and it's a systematic issue, then they would enter into what we call a consent decree, where the U.S. government and that municipality, it could be the city of Dallas, it could be the Dallas County Sheriff Department, it could be the state of Texas, whatever, right? They would enter into a consent decree to say, hey, look, this is how we're going to function from now on, and these are going to be the oversight type of that is going to be imposed, so we can make sure we're following that.
Didn't that happen in Ferguson?
Yeah, it did, because Obama was in office then. Well, Trump said, well, I'm not doing that anymore, right? And so he did the executive order that says, we're not doing that stuff anymore. So during the Trump administration, hey, police forces could do whatever the heck they wanted to do, right? And they didn't have to worry about any type of oversight from the Department of Justice.
So like shooting people who have boiling water in the pot?
Right. Stuff like that. Because in that example, that's the Miss Massey example, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
In that, the Justice Department just indicated, I believe within the last week or so, that they were opening up an investigation as it relates to that shooting. If it had been a Trump administration, they probably would not have, because they had indicated we're not getting involved with that. So an executive order can have a profound effect.
And that's how it drills down where people say, it doesn't matter who is elected president.
Right, but it does.
It does.
But it does. And so, but let me give you one other thing now. So we've talked about the executive orders. So what's happening is that this Project 2025, they are generating executive orders consistent with this Project 2025 right now. And so they want to have these executive orders already ready to go on day one, where he can sign to start implementing these policies. And these policies would be dealing with all types of stuff. It would be dealing with abortion. It would be dealing with Social Security and Medicare.
Wait, but hold on. Being that I'm retired, Social Security.
Right.
Talk to me on that.
Okay. Well, basically what they want to do, they want to slash Social Security and Medicare earned benefits that have already been paid for, and they want to raise the eligibility age to 70. They also want to allow companies to cut or eliminate overtime pay. You know how brother, he working and the holiday comes up, or it's past his 4, he like, man, they asked me to do 5 more hours. I'm getting time and a half. I'm going in to get that money.
Yeah.
You heard a brother say that before,
I know,
right?
I heard.
Well, they trying to say, hey, man.
I also know they slow down right before they do that.
But the thing is this: they want to allow companies to cut or eliminate overtime pay.
So overtime is cut.
Right. They want to cut 40 million people from the food assistance program.
Okay, that's food stamps, right?
Food stamps.
So how you gonna cut that?
You're gonna either cut the people who are eligible for it, or cut the amount of the benefits. One of the two. Maybe what they're going to do is they're going to go back to the old Ronald Reagan days and say that ketchup is a vegetable. If I don't have to give tomatoes anymore, then I can just give a packet of ketchup and we just call it a day.
So that'll cut down on the number of ramen noodles that people have.
Right, or cut down on the thing. And they want to stop. Now listen to this. Biden has gone through. He and Vice President Harris, that administration, they have gone through. They just had a big rollout, I think, on Wednesday with Biden and Harris together, where they talked about how under the law that they passed under the Inflation Reduction Act, allow for them to be able to go in and negotiate with Big Pharma, with the big prescription, with the big pharmacy companies, to cut prescription prices for certain drugs. You remember that? Just happened this Wednesday. Project 2025 wants to stop Medicare's price negotiations with Big Pharma.
All right, hold on again. I'm talking to you because you got this information out here, and some of that was on diabetes.
Yeah, some of it was on diabetes.
I'm a diabetic.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
So Biden, this administration has gotten it with the negotiations where it's going to be limited to $35, and you have a $2,000 cap for your medications if you're on Medicare. However, if 2025 goes into effect, if he wins, right, they want to stop Medicare price negotiations with Big Pharma.
So people think that that's not important because they don't know.
Well, but it is important. So that's why we can't just sit here and talk about, 2025, and people say it's bad, but they don't know why.
Don't know what it is.
They don't know how it's going to impact them. Those things that we just talked about, those were major things for people that are our age, right? Now, somebody that's 18 to 30 might say, man, I don't even care about that.
No,
right?
If it was 1980, I wouldn't care.
Right. And guess what? Trump always wants to talk about the military. He acts like he loves the military, even though he's disrespectful to them. Calls them suckers. Yeah, calls them suckers. Said that the person who got the civilian Medal of Honor is better off than the person that got the military Medal of Honor.
Because she gave him money.
She gave him money.
But,
And she's giving him money, a whole lot of money. But you know what? Under Project 2025, they want to reduce the veterans' health and disability benefits. Just cut it. Now, we've only been talking about Social Security, Medicare, and benefits. They want to do stuff with abortion. They want to do stuff with immigration, education, right? Now, let's talk about this though.
But you know what? Education. We all have to be educated, you know. And if I know somewhere in there it has to have something in there about buying homes. Do they have anything about buying homes in there?
No, I haven't seen anything
But
about
you
buying
know what?
homes.
I bet you Gail M. Todd knows something about buying homes.
Yeah.
Chance, let's go ahead and play the Gail M. Todd drop and we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy,
Give me
sell,
another one
lease,
after that.
or maybe you want to be a part
We're
of
at
this hot
5:20,
real estate
we're running
market
right
by
on time.
investing, just
Right.
give my team of
Ready to go
professionals and
in?
I a call
Yeah.
at
Without a doubt.
214-675-9572. Again, that's
I'm a professional.
214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com.
That's a trip, man.
With me, it's all about
It
you.
is.
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
that last
People
man?
don't know.
I mean, you don't know? That
Don't
wasn't
know.
the last man. That was the Commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6
You want to
p.m.
make that
on
this
Fishbowl
one?
Radio Network.
Or one more?
One more. How much battery I have now? 4% now?
What is that, your phone?
Cheryl Smith.
Oh, you been charging up?
For news and information, I tune in to Commish on Saturday.
I was at church.
Oh, that's right.
I have opportunity.
You want to go back after this?
Yeah, we're ready.
5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, now I like it. But you know what I don't like? I don't like Project 2025.
No, well, just a little basic. But let me tell you, let me hip you to one thing. Because before we get too deep into what it says, right? Because, I mean, we're talking about one particular area. It's like 10 different areas that are going to impact the whole nation, change the whole nature of this nation. But I want to talk about one thing when we said day one, right?
That's the date in which he'd be dictator, right?
Right, that he'd be dictator. On day one, right? We've talked about the executive orders. But people would say, oh yeah, well he might do an executive order, but a bunch of this stuff he wants to, got to go through Congress, things of that nature. People have to be, nominated and appointed. The Senate can kind of work as a check against all this, right?
Right.
That ain't how it's gonna work. Because what'll happen is this. The way that they're planning on implementing these executive orders is that they're gonna have their people in place. How do they put their people in place? They are getting a list of individuals that they are going to appoint to specific positions throughout the whole government as acting directors,
Wait a minute, hold up.
as acting appointees.
Acting directors and a director. Okay, I got it. Acting director means you haven't been voted on by Congress.
That's correct. So what's happened? At one point, I worked for the Department of Interior, right? So of course, the Secretary of Interior is going to be an appointed person, right? That's a cabinet level official. Underneath that, you may have a deputy. You have your deputy cabinet member, right? Then you have levels of people that have immense responsibility as far as implementing policy. So what they're going to do is that they're going to, rather than appointing, let's say, Ed to be the deputy director, they're going to appoint Ed as the acting deputy director. So what happens is that under the Federal Vacancy Reform Act of 1998, that person at the start of an administration can function within that position for 300 days without having to go before Congress. And what would also happen is that 300 days is good even if someone had been appointed in that position. And so that person will be able from day one to go in that they handpicked to put in there as an acting director, an acting administrator, and start the implementation of all these directives that are going to be in the executive
And you
orders.
said 300 days.
300
Mike
days.
level up on this one, please.
Right,
Mike
300
level
days.
up on mine, please. 300 days.
Correct.
So on the 301st day, nothing happens, but then on the 302nd day, can this person be reappointed back again and it starts over?
Well,
again?
the thing is this, there's a provision that basically says, let's say if somebody got, if they actually did appoint or nominate someone, during the nomination process, then that particular individual, then they couldn't have an acting person in that spot that's been nominated. But the one thing with Trump in his first administration was that there was always a complaint that the administration was not, that the personnel was not fully implemented. And so we had a lot of positions that were just open during the whole 4 years. So what was happening is he would put acting people in there, then that person would be there for a particular time. He could then nominate somebody. If he withdrew that nomination, then they could appoint a new acting person. So let's say they have an acting person, he's there for 300 days. They can say, okay, I'm gonna nominate X. Wait 10 days, say, you know what, we're gonna withdraw X. And then they could appoint somebody else that goes another 300 days. You follow? It's a way to manipulate the system. And we know he's the type of person that will be major into manipulation.
Now, why did they have this? You said 1998. That was under the Clinton administration. Why did they have that?
Well, actually,
what was the letter of the law?
Well, actually, the statute actually, did I say 98? It may be 78.
Okay.
Because it actually came into effect during the time period after. No, it's 1998. But a lot of it dealt with. I can't remember right off the top of my head what was the undergirding factor with respect
but
to.
But what we have now is.
Yeah, but it's the Federal Vacancy Reform Act of 1998.
Okay, now I'm looking at your notes, and I have some notes now.
Yeah, I see you do have a few notes now.
And a few.
Yeah, I see.
But as I look at your laptop, you have abortion on there. That seems to be something that's the top of the list.
Right. Well, the thing is this. Let's go. Now that we know how they're going to do it, right? We've talked about the Social Security and Medicare of what they want to do. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
So on abortion, they want to criminalize abortion. They want to deny access to birth control and ban conception procedures like IVF.
Wait a minute, birth control.
Birth control. Now, why do they want to ban birth control?
The pill.
The pill. Well, I guess they're gonna ban all. They want to ban all type of birth control. I guess prophylactics also. They want to ban that. They want to make it a criminal offense to have an abortion, right? And they want to be able to jail the doctors and say women will be prevented from getting the care they need, including if they travel to a state where abortion is legal.
Wait a minute. I thought he said, meaning Trump, said that if everyone has their own abortion laws, so if you have an abortion law in Texas, well, that's just it. You go to another state, okay, fine. So what you just said is contradictory.
No, well, yeah, but the thing is this: we're listening to someone who lies habitually. I mean, he's gonna say whatever it is. What can they do to him afterwards? Even if he won, he only has 4 more years, right? So what can they do, right?
Theoretically.
Yeah. They also
because he's the type of guy that would try to extend it.
Well, yeah, he might.
Yeah.
But the thing is this: also the abortion drugs. It was a big effort. It was a case out of Texas where they tried to say a drug that had been used for 20 years was not safe. and they were saying that when it was allowed 20 years ago, that they did not properly, take into consideration the safety of it, even though they had 20 years of experience with it since then. That case went up to the Supreme Court just this past term or last year, and it got thrown out. However, under Project 2025, they want to withdraw that drug from the market, and they want to say that they in 2025 they do favor a national ban on abortion. And the gentleman who is about implementing this, right? Mm-hmm. He was just interviewed this past week secretly, where he said that he was against, personally, even exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. And this is the person, and this guy that I'm talking about, his name is Russell, I believe, Covington, I believe it is. He used to be the director of the Office of Management and Budget for Trump. And the Office of Management and Budget, that's kind of like the accounting and economic firm for the government. I mean, they're really important. He was the director of that. So this ain't no lightweight guy. And he is saying, he was caught this past week talking to some people and saying, hey, Trump is disavowing this stuff right now, but don't worry about that.
He did.
We good, we're gonna be good. All right? And so that's what they want to do as it relates to the to abortion. But that's not even the thing. Education. 2025 wants to eliminate the Department of Education. Period.
Oops.
The whole Department of Education. They want to gut public school funding.
That's what Governor Rick Perry wanted to do.
That's what he wants to do too.
Said, oops.
And he wants to give federal funds to religious schools.
Federal funds to religious schools.
Right? So basically what they want to do is we're going to cut this education department. We're going to gut the public school system. We want to do these vouchers where people can go wherever they want. We ain't got time to send our kids over here with these other folks. In Project 2025, they want to remove Black history from schools. Why? What is so scary about Black history that we can't learn
Come
anything?
On, my DEI.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, DEI hire.
And you know what? And guess what?
See, that's the deal with this whole thing, and I've been listening to it, is that we meaning Black folk, it was kind of like sold a bill of goods after this pandemic had occurred. George Floyd happened, and they started talking about we have a reckoning. You remember that, the reckoning? Right. That we've kumbaya. We see the error of our ways, and within 4 years they started talking about DEI.
Well, you know what? And I've said this before.
They start. You get the white backlash.
Well, and you know what? I've said this numerous times, is that I think a lot of this stuff with the DEI, the critical race theory, erasing Black history, that that white folks are being discriminated against, it all came from George Floyd. And the reason it came, Ed, is because when you saw the crowds that were protesting George Floyd, that wasn't like the civil rights movement where it was 95% Black folks.
No.
Man, it was Hispanic folks, it was white folks, it was Black folks, it was everybody, because they knew it was wrong.
It was wrong.
And so the thing is that these individuals who want to keep and dominate power, they saw that as, oh man, our kids are being indoctrinated here to start seeing what we have been doing or what has been done wrong in this country.
Critical race theory.
And from that standpoint, I think that's one of the reasons why they did. But the thing we can't.
But wait a minute, hold on. Okay, hold on. What about the Juneteenth holiday?
Well, that was.
I mean, I'm playing
devil's
advocate.
Yeah,
that's what some people will say.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying that's what it is.
Well, what you saying? You saying is it in jeopardy?
No, I'm just saying that's what they did.
Right.
You know, it's like a sleight of hand trick. Okay, I give you the Juneteenth holiday, but I'm going to go ahead and take away diversity, equity, and inclusion. I give you the Juneteenth holiday, but I'm going to go ahead and dilute affirmative action. I give you the Juneteenth holiday, but I'm going to go ahead and gerrymander you out of your congressional districts.
Well, yeah, but the thing is this, but the people who are pushing DEI, exclusion, critical race theory are not the same people that move for the Juneteenth holiday, though. I mean, we can't conflate things now.
No, that's not what I'm conflating.
Well, what are you conflating? Yeah, it sound like you
What
are to
I'm-
me.
No, what I'm saying is the whole deal, they did not want to give the Juneteenth holiday either.
Well, yeah, I agree with
So
that.
I'm
I agree with that.
saying this is the whole big picture of it, is to put people to sleep.
Right. But let me say this though. I've told you about this guy. His
Put
name.
people to sleep. So while all these brothers are sitting around talking about, well, we got a holiday. We got a holiday. I
Come
got
on.
a holiday.
Oh, come on, man. Ain't nobody going around that.
No.
Well, I hope they not.
No. I mean, come on, counselor.
Well, you know what? I enjoyed
Come
the
on,
holiday,
man.
but I took the
I
holiday.
ain't talking
anyway.
about that. I'm talking about this is the bigger picture on this. He said we give you a holiday, but we'll go ahead and make sure that some other things don't happen in your favor.
Well, yeah,
That's
big
what
deal.
I'm talking about.
But the point I want to make on this, Ed, to follow up on what you
Thank
just
you.
said,
I'm
right?
glad you're on my side.
Okay, to
Go
follow
ahead.
up is that this Russell Vought guy, the guy that I just told you that was the director of OMB for Trump,
Uh-huh.
the guy who was caught on the video this past week saying, "Don't worry about Trump saying that he's not a part of this. He good, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Russell Vought started for the last 4 years. He started an organization which was called the Center for Renewing America. You hear that?
Mhm.
The Center for Renewing America.
Now, what is Russell Vought? What is he?
I just told you he's the guy who's over who's over the implementation of 2025. And they're also saying that it could end up being the chief of staff for Trump if he returns back to the White House. So he's going to have immense power and influence. So all of this stuff that he's doing, don't think that this ain't about to get implemented if he gets back in the office. And the point I want to make is this Center for Renewing America, that was the entity that drafted up the critical race theory legislation that was then sent around to all of these states that have passed it to prohibit critical race theory. So the point I'm trying to make is that he has done what he is about to do. You follow what I'm saying?
I follow you loud and clear.
So this ain't no theoretical thing.
Well, this is what I want our listeners to get. What we're trying to do is connect the dots on this. That's what it is. It's not a game of checkers. It's a game of chess.
Right.
It's exactly what that is.
And along on the education under 2025, they want to eliminate the Head Start program. Now, why is that? Kids who can't afford, right, lunches, whose parents can't afford, right, let's say for them to have supervision and childcare in the morning, they could drop their kid off for the Head Start in the mornings or during the summer when Head Start is implemented. Why would we take away opportunities for children to advance and be more productive citizens in our country?
Because we're trying to get even with the Black Panther Party.
You say what?
Well, you know, Head Start got started from the Black Panther Party.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And that was part of one of the points of the Black Panther Party. So what I'm connecting the dots on this, that becomes racial in its intent, because that's what it does.
Right.
That's what I'm connecting the dots.
Okay. Another thing that may be we just talked about the critical race theory. They want to
And
limit.
it is involving race again. See,
Right.
everything comes back to race. You know, like Spike Lee said.
Or maybe there's some stuff about
Classism.
religion or religion. because they got some stuff in here about
Right.
white nationalism.
Race, classism.
Right. But like with racial justice, we touched on this, but they want to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, and declares they are the equivalent with critical race theory, and that they're discriminatory to white people. They in 2025.
So they're gonna rewrite slavery and say, well, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
We had some good masters too. We never talk about the good ones.
Well, no, they're not even gonna say that. They're gonna say, man, that was just
Never
training.
it existed.
That was a good training program.
It was a training. It's
It's
a job training.
Yeah, it was
program.
Job Corps. It was a Job Corps. It was Job Corps.
Well, that's a saying that we used to say back in the day, and it was like please at the end of it. But that's okay. We'll go ahead and leave it alone.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead,
Right.
brother.
Yeah, they want to propose revising and limited census questions on race, ethnicity, and disabilities. Right? You know, it's just all types of stuff. Now, on top of all that, for the wealthy folks, they do want to cut corporate and wealthy income taxes further. They want to abolish the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, I heard about that, abolish the Federal Reserve.
Right.
He said that about 2 days ago.
Right. And they want to return to a gold-based currency.
Okay.
Like we got enough gold for all that now.
Okay.
All right. And of course, they advocate for 60% tariffs on goods from China and 10% tariffs on goods from everywhere else. So everybody talking about inflation, you know, because Trump sits here and he says, "Oh, China's paying for these tariffs." Now let's think this through, folks. China is selling us a refrigerator. All right, it's coming from China, and so we're saying, and it costs $100, as an example. And then we're going to put a 60% tariff on it. So now China has to pay $60, right? So it would have been $100, but now they're only going to make $40 because what? They got to pay $60
to get to 40.
So what happens?
They're gonna go up
They're going to go up $60.
so they can break even.
So they can break even. So now it's $160. And so who pays the $60? China?
No.
Or the person buying the refrigerator?
But and this is the way the thought process is. I'm not saying it for me. I'm just saying the way they will sell it to America. That we showed the Chinese that because we made them pay more money for it.
But they're not. We're paying more money for it because we are, right, paying 60% more. People are not, they're not just going to eat the money. If I want the refrigerator, right, I mean, I'm going to have to pay the money. Perfect example was the tariffs that he imposed on China for the farmers back during the first administration. China turned around and started putting tariffs on things that we sell, like wheat and corn and things of that nature. So what happened is China started buying their wheat and corn from other places. And what happened after that was that the government then had to bail out all other farmers who weren't able to sell their goods anymore, their farm crops. And I don't have a figure, but it was billions of dollars that we paid farmers for them to make up for the money that they lost. And he knew he had to do it because why? He needed them to vote for him still.
Ain't that welfare?
Yeah, that's welfare. That's what they call welfare. You know,
so if it's a farmer, it's called a what? A subsidy?
yeah, called a subsidy, right?
But if I'm living in the hood, it's welfare.
It's welfare, right? Right. If you big oil and you getting subsidies, right? Then that's just, you know, that's subsidy. But that's welfare too.
But if I'm on Hampton Boulevard,
Then it's a problem.
it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Okay.
Oh, that boy. Oh, he came up here with a car with some new tires on it, man. That boy getting too much money. You know, all of that kind of stuff. But the thing is this, man. This thing is, I mean, if we hadn't even talked about immigration. We hadn't even talked about it. They want to round up at least 11 million immigrants, put them in detention camps, and then execute the largest deportation operation in American history. What about the children? You know, we still have kids from his first administration that they haven't been able to connect with their parents yet.
That's true.
I mean, where's the humanity in that? You know, there's one thing, okay, we're going to take your kid. Wait a minute. Think about this. Where is the humanity? Even if your policy is that we're going to separate the kids from the parents, right? Is there such a lack of humanity that we can't even work out a system so we'll know where the parents are or who the parents are to get the kids back to them at some point in the future?
Now, we've done that before. We did that from 1619 to 1865.
Yeah, that was called slavery. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. So why am I tripping?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
There you go again.
Yeah, there I go again.
You
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But how people gonna do about that?
Yeah, well, what we got to do, we got to register. You know, and you know, this thing is such a repetitive statement, right? But we got to register, and we really got to vote.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the judges recently, and she was asking me about how is this going to happen as we get ready to go to our close. How is this going to happen? And I was telling her that it's going to be you women that's going to be able to carry it through, because I am not confident that black men are going to go ahead and do what we should do.
Right. Well, yeah, that is true, because I mean, I think things are getting a little better as I look and analyze some of the polls. Right. We seem to be correlating.
That's because we've been on that. You church people, I can't say the word I would normally say.
Right. I got you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. New Hope Baptist Church appreciates that, man.
Friendship West.
Yeah, I've got a stellar relationship, and I can't have it.
I'm
muddled.
trying to build a stellar relationship.
Yeah. I can't have it muddled because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, well, we just.
I know I'm a DEI hire. Go ahead.
But the thing is, man, is that we just got to vote, man. We got to vote. Now, you know what? Now, I'm going to say this, and I've said this before. When I was listening, and you know, they played it all this week on CNN, on MSNBC. They probably didn't play it on Fox. But they had that video of this, of the vault guy. And he's sitting there and he's talking to some people, and he's Russell Vaught, that's his name. And he's sitting there and he's telling them, don't worry about it, Trump's down with us. Hey, and some of the views that he said, man, were just scary. You know, he was talking about Christian nationalism. Basically, if you're not a Christian, then, I mean, they might start rounding up people, you know, Muslim or, you know, Buddhists, you know, even if you're an atheist, oh, you didn't go to church today, so you might get rounded up. I mean, who knows where they're going with this. But some of his views, man, was so scary. It was really chilling just listening to it. You know, this guy just explained this so, you know, just like he was talking about going out to dinner. How stuff was just going to impact and how they were going to basically change the whole fabric of this country. And it made me think, of course, the first thing is that, hey, man, we got to win this election, right?
Gotta win.
But you know what the second thing it made me think about?
What's that?
Made me think about old Frederick Douglass with the 3 boxes to preserve democracy.
What's that?
The ballot box, which we just talked about. The jury box, which means that, hey, we got to file cases and try to, you know, litigate things out. And the last box for defense is the bullet box.
All right.
You better, hey.
Hey, let that be the last word.
Hey, everybody better, hey, you better stay ready, not get ready.
And thank you for listening to the Commish Radio Show, and
Legal Standpoint with Michael J. Todd.
hey, we'll see you guys back next month.
All right.
Power to the people. Don't delay. All right.
Hey, thanks everybody.
You know, whenever I want good Cajun food, I go to Thibodeau's.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that one right after this one.
They're really hot. It's like the Commish Radio Show in Thibodeau's. Hot as this gumbo. We'll see you later at Thibodeau's.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.